lose the fear. Turn obstacles into stepping stones. Turn your dreams into motion. You're not alone. Your success story starts tonight. It's Success Saturday. Together our hearts burn bright. Saturdays light your way.
Success Saturday starts now. Oh, look at, I got the wrong banner. See, we're already having a good, successful, fun Saturday. How's everybody doing? See, I love it. See, you have to embrace technology. You have to embrace workflows. You just have to embrace that. And sometimes when it might go just a little bit to the left, when you're trying to make it a little bit to the right, guess what? It happens. It happens, right? We just keep it moving. We just keep it moving. So with that, my name is Barbara J. Beckley, and I am volunteer over the wonderful, amazing CB4L.org Chemo Buddy for Life. And as I always tell people, I am a chemo buddy for life. And if wink, wink, Mrs. Wonderful, amazing Queen Tamara L. Hunter is on the scenes here, because I got to check my comments here because I want to make sure we're talking, that she understands why I say that. So welcome in. Come on, welcome in. I want to welcome everybody, and please come on in. We're gonna have some good conversation tonight. I really believe that this is gonna really, hopefully, what's been downloaded in me for today gives you a smile in your heart. A smile in your heart. I want to say, first of all, thank you for the love that people's been showing me for the whole month. Had another loss in the family 2 weeks ago. We had the funeral this morning. In fact, I'm just getting back, and I said, let me hook up and everything so I could be ready for Success Saturdays, because the show must go on, as I say. And I'm not saying that to sound like I'm not, as we say, people say, grieving or thinking about my loved one and the passing. But I always talk about, this is one thing I always talk about, how you always have to lead by example, no matter what is going on in your life. And I always say, always grab the opportunities are there. And what I mean by the opportunities are there is, even though that you might be at a low end, maybe you lost a loved one, or you lost a job, or you just lost a certain ideal, whatever. Leading by example is, it happened, but what do we need to do? We need to show that legacy. If it was a person involved, if it was family or friend or somebody that you were really close to, they wouldn't want you to stay in something. Now, we're human. So, and I want you to take this the right way. Plus, I am not a psychiatrist or a doctor. So I want to put that out there. This is just the wisdom of Barbara J. Beckley coming from God. Okay. Giving me some wisdom right now. So you just have to make sure that whatever kind of, and I hate to say loss, because to me, it's not a loss. The family member that left is not a loss to me, because they left something in me and something in the family and whoever else they were around in life, a gift of their life, a gift that they were giving out, be it their wisdom, their knowledge, being helpful, at their job, being helpful at their job. So I always tell people that was a gift, and we got to keep it going. Just because they gain their wings and they're gone, that doesn't mean that they're everything around you can remind you of them in a positive manner, so you can move forward and move that legacy forward, right? You can move that legacy forward. So I always tell people that, yes, The human side is going to feel sad. Yes, you're going to miss that person. Yes, you might feel painful a few to 4 days. But always remember, we still have to. I always say I have to. I want to say I because I don't want to put it on everybody because you got to make your own decisions. You still want to lead. I always still want to lead by example of what I say. I'm always talking about, when you need to lead by example, you got to help people. If people are no longer on this earth and they gain their wings, let their legacy of love, their legacy of life live on through you and move forward in it until you gain your wings. See, we're always here for a present time, right? And in that present time, what are you doing? And then once you leave the present time, what did you do here that will still resonate and move forward in a positive manner to everybody else that's coming behind you? Okay. So thank you for the love. Thank you for the thoughts and the care and everybody saying, hey, Barbara, we love you. We've been thinking about you. And all that. I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you so much. I really do. I really, truly do. Now, with that said, let's move on to Success Saturday. What's going on? What's your successes? That's my next question. I see people commenting in, little comments. I think Lewis Carmogo, and I don't want to say it wrong, to say Lewis. Thank you for joining Success Saturdays, coming every second and fourth Saturday to your tuning in. What is your success? Let me see. Let's talk to me. Talk to me. I don't want to be a talking head. I don't like that. I learned a long time ago, it can't just be a talking head, right? You have to make sure that your conversation, that we're engaging with each other. So I want to make sure that there's engagement here, and I want to make sure that you're doing great, and I want to celebrate your success. Success can be, hey, you drank 2 bottles of water today that you haven't drank water in probably a whole week. Or success is, I took a 5-minute walk, which the other day I couldn't walk at all. That's success. So success don't have to be this big, grand, thing. Success is just a success that you see in your life that I always explain to people. Okay. So I want to make sure that we celebrate you. So one success that I had, because hey, if I'm telling you to share, right? I have to, I have to be added. I have to add myself too. So one success out of many, because I look at every day when I wake up, when I'm talking to somebody, when I could help somebody. I mean, all that to me is success rolled up into one. But one success that I've seen this week for myself is something from another person. I'm always open and just always making sure that I'm open to learning. And I want you to think about it. Always make sure that you're open to learning. And you can learn from so many individuals. And don't pick and choose which individual you're going to learn from. That's another thing I had to learn a lesson from. I was like, well, I'm going to pick that person because they're my mentor. I've been knowing for a while. They know me and I understand who they are and they understand who I am and all that kind of stuff. And then you come to find out you missed people that maybe just met you, or somebody that don't even know you and came out the blue and said, look, I have a work, I see something in you that you might not see, or there's something else that you might want to do with that particular project or whatever. Don't be open for ideas, because the one thing you can do, which we all have a freedom of choice, thank God for that still right now, we have a freedom of choice to say, yes, I agree with that. Thank you for giving me that golden nugget, or I'm going to put that on the shelf. I'm going to let it sit for a minute and sermon and see what happens. Or that's, thank you, but no thanks. I mean, you don't have to say it like that to them, but you know how to distinguish between, you're going to take it, you're going to keep it for a minute, or you're going to throw it out. But it's understanding in the growth period, because you never know who you're going to grow from. And this week I grew from somebody that was like way out that I didn't think and it was one of my manager, my upper management at my job, that they said something really interesting. And I was like, And it's interesting because the learning part that I learned is something what not to do. Not to do this point at this time, but what not to do. So they did something that I was like, a little taken back with, especially being in management and you calling yourself a leader. And I'm not calling out anybody. I'm not saying no names. I'm just saying, just explaining what I learned this week. But I found out, and I always said this, and it was confirmation to me, that leader versus manager, two different things. Two different things. A leader is different from a manager and supervisor. Okay. And when they made the statement, that kind of had in my head which part they were in. Because a manager is going to think about, okay, we got to get this done. You better get it done or else, and just keep it moving with stuff, because you got to manage products and stuff like that. I get that. But when you're a leader, you rally up the troops and you see what's going on with them, and you see what might be the problem, and you see the smaller picture with them and then the bigger picture, so you can show them, okay, I'm hearing you. See, a leadership is going to listen to what you have to say. Sorry, now my phone wants to go blowing up when I'm doing my show. Isn't that long show? A leader wants to really hear what you have to say, and honors you in what you say, and wants to make sure that you're good in whatever project whatever we're working on, be it if it's an individual one-on-one or if it's a project. And understanding that you have a voice just like everybody else with what's going on, and they have to hear your voice. That's leadership. A leader is a person that wants to see you even rise above them. That's a leader. See, they take ego and all that kind of stuff out the door. So I found out, and I learned this week that I'm dealing with a manager here, not so much of a leader, and they're higher uppers leader. And I was like, you got to check in with your people. You just can't just sit there and say whatever. So I found out as confirmation that I was doing the right thing when I do my leadership within my business. See, I got to make sure everybody else is okay, because we all got to work together here. We all try to get to that one goal. And if there's something that's missing, something that's not understanding, something that's hurting something, we need to take a step back and see what's going on. Yes. So that's what I learned this week. Now, before I get into, because I'm looking at something here, I want to play something that I've been telling people for a long time. And everyone has a gift. I always say this. I've been saying this for so long. Everybody has a gift in them. And it's everybody could be the same type of gift, but it's still original, because everybody's original in their gifts. You know why? Because I always use example about the fingerprint. Everybody has a different fingerprint. All the people, millions and millions and trillions of people in the world, and we all have a different fingerprint. Can you believe that? Everybody that's in the world. So the same thing goes with what you bring to the world. The same thing goes with what you have in here. And people need to really understand that. So I want to play this video because I want you to really listen I need you to really understand, to start really shining from inside to the outside. It's much needed that we need you right now, especially in these days and times. So I'm going to play the video and I'll be right back. We'll go more into, we're going to talk more about joy and making that decision in your life.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Woke up with a smile I didn't fake. Took a breath and gave myself a break. Don't need the world to say I'm right.
I've got my spark, I've got my light.
Mirror's not a judge, it's just a friend. I'm learning how to love myself again.
No chasing perfect, that's a game. I'm showing up, not hiding shame.
Every scar, every line, just a part of my design. Not holding back, not dimming down. This is me, I wear my crown. Shine
From inside, let your colors fly. You don't need a reason why.
to laugh, to dance, to dream out loud. You're enough right here and now.
So take that step, don't
Let go of doubt, let love in. This is the moment you begin.
The magic's real, and so are you. Be your best, it shines right through.
Shine from inside, don't hide your flame. This world will never be the same.
When you show up just as you are,
You're already a shining star. So take that step, don't second guess. The world needs your fabulousness. You're the light, you're the vibe. Just shine from inside. Just shine from inside. Yeah. Shine from inside.
And we are back. If you're just coming in, tuning in, my name is Barbara J. Beckley. I'm one of the volunteers under CB4L.org. And that's Chemo Buddies for Life organization, where the wonderful, amazing Queen Tamara L. Hunter was the founder, the queen of it. But she has so much love for so many people that her wisdom and her guidance, the leadership for it, has spreaded so far and wide. And we help, basically, we help people that are going through cancer or any other kind of maybe disease that they found out about, and understanding that they should have a chemo buddy or just a buddy too. I always say, I know we say chemo buddy because it's part of what the name of the group is, what the name of the nonprofit is, but just to let you know that anytime you need that person in your life to be that buddy, to be that some person to hear you, to guide you, to listen to you, because sometimes people just need ears. Sometimes people just don't need all this. Well, I think you should do this, and I suggest you should do it. Okay, sometimes just listen, because when you listen to somebody instead of talking all the time, and I'm not saying not to talk, but listen, because sometimes you will understand where they're coming from, and then you will understand maybe what suggestions to give them instead of thinking about your own. Because a lot of times we get in our own mind and we're like, well, I think you should do this, do that. Well, wait a minute. Have you listened to what I'm saying? Have you listened to what I'm dealing with? Maybe I don't even want you to do that right now. What I need you to do is to just have some ears and say how much you care right now about me. Sometimes that's the only thing that a person needs. So with that, that's what we do in Chemo Buddies for Life. We want to make sure that we're here to listen and to be there as a resource for you. So with that said, since this is a Success Saturdays, I come on second and fourth Saturday for right now. I'm saying that because I'm thinking about maybe a few more. And I always come in. I still haven't seen anybody put any comments about success. Okay, I want to get on you. I will do that. Let me adjust my seat. I will get on you and say, okay, I want to hear your victories. I want to hear what you've been successful in this week, okay? So let's work on that. But with that said, I want to get into something that's been downloaded to me to share with you today. And I was thinking about when I get ready for my Success Saturdays. I always want to give something meaningful, something to think about, something to take in, something that can maybe even to the point of maybe a transformation in maybe your life, or maybe you can share it to somebody and then they have a transformation in their life. But I always think about that when I'm getting things together for the show. And one of the things that came up was, real quickly, choosing joy. Choosing joy, simple. You think. I say simple, then sometimes choosing joy is not that easy. So I came up to say choosing is not joy is not denial. It's a decision. And I'm reading my notes here because, like I said, I want to make sure I say it right. Um, intentionally finding the light even is challenging season sometimes. It is. Just like I said earlier, I had a loved one that I lost. It's been a 2 week thing, almost a month really, that we had to get things together. Today, this morning was a funeral. And I had to choose at this time, am I going to choose sorrow and depression and a lot of grief? Or am I going to choose joy in the midst of the storm? See, that's where you go to another level. That's where you go to another level. And I was just saying to myself, I have to go by the words that I speak. I'm telling people, well, you choose this, that when you're going through. Okay, now Barbara J. Beckley's going through something. What you gonna do, Barbara? What you gonna do? You've been telling people all this time they need to do this, they need to flip it, when they need to do that, and all that kind of stuff. And I said, am I doing that? Am I being true to the words that I say? Is my integrity here now, right? And I gotta say that. So I chose choosing joy, especially on a day like today, because I knew that today was that I needed to deal with a family member in the funeral. And I wanted to say, okay, what I'm going to choose. So it's interesting because wonderful Queen of Queens, Tamara L. Hunter, who's over, like I said, the CB4L.org. She asked me yesterday, she was doing a check-in with me. First of all, she's just so nice. She's just so lovely. I always tell her she's my sister. We're sisters. And just kind of straightened out a little here. And she was checking in with me, and she was like, Barbara, I believe you're probably not going to do Success Saturday tonight because, I know you're dealing with family and you got to go and travel, because I did have to travel to the funeral. And I told her, no, I'm not canceling. Nope. Success Saturdays will go on. Will go on. Because right then and there, I had to think to myself, what do I tell other people? What do I say about leaving legacies and making sure that you're there for the loved ones that have gained their wings? What did I say about that? You have to take whatever's built up in you and make sure that you are dealing with it in a nice, healthy way. And making sure that you need to make a decision at every moment of your life, every moment of the day, no matter what's going on around you. So I had to make a decision, and I made one. Well, I already knew that I was going to do Success Saturdays even before she called, but she just was a reminder for me to say, okay, Barbara, what you going to do? She's asking you this question. Are you going to, because I could have just said, well, you know what? I think I'm going to cancel because, I'm dealing with a line. I could have did all that. But then I was thinking about, there might be one person out there that might get one thing that I say tonight that's going to help them through something that might be very, 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 very difficult in their life. And I feel like I was accountable for that. And as a leader, and we're all leaders here, I'm just not saying me, we're all leaders in our lives. As a leader, I need to make sure I'm stepping up. And as a leader that says the positives and you have a gift in you and your voice is important, all that kind of stuff, I had to make sure I'm showing up for you. So that's why I told myself, no, I'm going to be there for Success Saturdays. And here I am. And that goes back to if you want to say topic for tonight, choosing joy. Joy is not denial. It is a decision. You can always make a decision to have joy or not. That's up to you. Which way you want to go? Which way what these old say? Which way does the wind blow? Which way do your mind go to choosing joy? So one thing, and it could be, like I said, going back, it could be a challenge for you if you are dealing with so much on your plate, like left and right. Have you ever been there, like everything's hitting you, boom, 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 and you're like, oh my God, if there's one more thing that drops, I'm just going to, and we all know that, it's like, boom. So we all been there, and we still go there because guess what? You're human. You are human. It happens. You got to let it out. I always tell people, I'd rather for you to let it out in a healthy, right way now. Let me put a little check mark there. Put a little disclaimer, but you have to let it out. You have to just let it flow out. And that's okay. But then you want to think about, okay, now I got to make a decision. Decision time. Doom, doom, doom. The decision is, am I going to stay where I'm at, or am I going to move forward and create joy in my life? Because again, I always say this, and some people get mad at me about this. They really do. They really get upset when I say this. It's your decision if you're sad. It's your decision if you don't want to forgive. It's your decision if you don't want joy. It's on you. And some people don't like to hear that. What do you mean it's on me? They made me upset. They said something to me and it just went the wrong way. Or I'm never going to forgive them. They did something unforgivable. I will never, ever, 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 ever forgive them. Okay. How's that going? Because they're moving on and you're still talking about, I'm not going to forgive nobody. Now you're talking about yourself now. And what I mean talking about yourself is it's really embodying in you now, but this unforgiveness, and this is not the topic for tonight, but just using examples. And you need to let that go, because guess what? They let it go. Believe me, I have been through all these years I've been on this earth. I found out more and more and more, and I'm learning more and more and more every single day, that when you don't forgive, and I mean really forgive, and don't do that, oh, I'll forgive, but don't forget stuff, because if you haven't forgot, then you didn't forgive. Let's just keep it. Please, come on. I mean, that just, it stuck to me, because it really kind of, sometimes people say, well, I'll forgive you, but I don't forget. Well, then, okay, then you don't forgive me then. Let's just put it out there. Why sit there and massage that? That's like a little, let's massage, and it makes you feel good saying it. It really does. It makes people feel good saying, by saying, well, I'm going to forgive you, but I'm not going to forget what you did. Okay, I get that. And see what happens, you keep the door open just a little bit when you say that, because you know how you keep the door open? Okay, you forgave me. You told me you forgave me. Wonderful, but you're not going to forget. So every time now I'm walking on pins and needles and on eggshells, because if something happens, or I might say something that reminds you of something and I didn't mean it, or I'm just moving and grooving and trying to do what I need to do, you're going to bring it up. See, I said I forgive you, but remember 10 years ago, you said such and such. See, I seen your face the other day and it looked like you was going to say it again. So see, I didn't forget. That is not helping the process of forgiveness. It's not. I gotta clutch myself. It's not. So if anybody sits there talking about, I understand that you don't want to deal with stuff over again. You don't want to get beat up over and over on the same thing. I get that. It's like a little different. But if you're going to forgive. And if you feel like you forgive, and in your mind, you just can't really be around that person no more, or something's telling you to say, well, you know what, I'm forgiving, but I gotta low key with them. I have to stay away. I'll pray from, how some people, I pray for you from afar and all that. Then you could do what you had to do. That's your boundary. You got to create your boundaries. But say the old saying with that, because it's like, okay, then you just don't forgive. Just take it to yourself saying, I'm not forgiving if I can't forget about it. Because you're going to bring it up somewhere down the line. It's going to pop up in a conversation, and then you're sitting there looking like, oh, they just brought this up. They just threw it in my face. Thank you so much. You forgave me, right? Yeah, but I don't want to get into the whole forgive thing, because that's not, I got to do that for another topic. That's for another Saturday. By the way, looking at comments, I still don't see no successes. I want to see some successes so we can celebrate. Okay, we need to celebrate. Okay, so going back to choosing joy. Small moments of gratitude, choosing joy. Laughter, like I did tonight, choosing joy. Connection can transform your emotional strength. So it's transferring. It's like I told you just earlier. You have to choose if you want to have joy or not. You have to choose if you're going to forgive or not. You have to choose if you're going to love or not. It's your choice. You have to choose that. You have to say it in your mind that I'm going to choose to love no matter what that person said, or I'm going to have joy no matter what the chaos and the earthquakes and the floods and everything else is going around me. I have to choose. You have to choose. The person don't have to choose for you. So that means that you're a robot, that people are telling you what to do and how to do it and when to do it. And that's what happens, right? When you don't choose yourself. That's why I tell people it's up to you to be happy. It's up to you to feel joy. You have to make that decision. Okay. So I want to go through and I'm going to go to usually half point. I like to do a little meditation and prayer moment. So I want to do that before we get into some topics, not topics, but some ways to choose joy. Okay. Just some ways to kind of choose joy and how important it is in your life. But before that, I wanted you to just kind of just listen, meditate, think about things that you need to think about and just let it go. To take that usha moment here, just breathe in and breathe out. If it's somebody that you lost or a loved one, a job or what have you, just kind of just let it flow out of you while we meditate. And I'll be right back. Mm. Oh, that felt so good. So if you're just coming back, this is Barbara J. Beckley, a volunteer of Chemo Buddies for Life, cb4l.org. And you're here at Success Saturdays that I do with yours truly myself to really, first of all, make sure how important you understand that, how the successes in your life. There is no certain level of higher, lower, medium of what success brings in your life, but it depends on what you see success is in your life. But we're here to celebrate that. I'm here to give some words of encouragement or just certain topics that I talk about, to make sure that you understand, first of all, how much of a wonderful human being that you are in this life. And also to make sure you understand that everything that you do in this world means something in a positive way. And what I mean by a positive way. Sometimes I got to put a disclaimer out there, because not everything we do is positive. Okay. But the stuff that we know that's positive, the stuff that is keeping us moving, the items that we do, in our gifts that we have, that we move forward, helps us grow and helps others grow. So with that said, we're going to get into, I was talking about choosing joy in your life. So let's talk about a few things that you can do, or some things to think about when it surrounds joy. Okay. First, start the day with gratitude. I was looking for my book. I got to give Elena some credit, Crown Agenda. So she has a journal that I've been working out of for a while. Every month she has this journal, and I'll just show it to you, give her a little credit here, the Crown Agenda. And in this particular journal, what I love about it, and I told her every till this day, when she gets done doing these, I want them. So I ordered a lot of them. I have like a whole year's supply. So in the journal, I don't know if you can see it, it has where you can put like the day, stuff that you need to do for the day. And then on this side, it has the times, like if you have a schedule of meetings or something like that, and you have to remind yourself, it's on this side here. But then right over here, if I can move my finger where it's at, right there, I know you can't see it because it's small. Right, that box, and it's, yeah. You see where it says gratitude and grace. Thank God for what is not just what's next. That's what I fill out every single day. Before I even write down all the things I have to do and my to-do list and all that kind of stuff, I start the day to take the moment each day to recognize what I'm grateful for. And the gratitude shifts your focus towards positive. That's what it does. That's where, I'm talking about everything you can do revolving around joy. So starting the day with gratitude. I thank myself for getting up. I thank myself for breathing, my lungs to breathe. I thank myself I can hear myself. Wow, I can hear it. I thank myself for seeing. Even though I have my glasses, I thank you for the glasses so I can see even better. I thank you for the earrings to make me look pretty sometime. I thank you for my clothes, because you know what? A lot of people are out there homeless and they might not have clothes or somewhere to stay. I thank for my feet and my hands. I can move them. I can eat with them. I can move things around with my hands. I can walk with my feet. You see? And the thankful and gratitude keeps going once you do that. So it keeps you in that, shifts you, and anything that was kind of getting the nana, I always say the negative stuff's coming to you. This shifts you to that positive. Okay. Second thing you can do revolving around joy. Celebrate, and this is what we're talking about with Success Saturdays. Celebrate small wins. I should see a full thing of comments. I don't know what's going on, and I know I'm live because I see myself in other areas. I have not received one. I mean, one. And it's making me sad. Celebrating any small wins that you have had. Every step towards what you're doing matters. Recognizing progress in what you're doing, building momentum and confidence in you to bring that joy in. So please, if you're not celebrating here with us tonight, celebrate it wherever you are, because you need to do that. Okay. Third, connect with encouraging people. I took a little pause with that, because a lot of times we tend to, and I'm going to put me, because I can talk about me. Sometimes I tend to, and I used to do it a lot, and I don't do it because I recognize, tend to be drawn to people that might be, talking about things that's in a negative vibe, or saying some things that you want to get the gossip on or something, or try to figure out why that's doing or this or whatever like that. No. What's going on with the mind now? You gotta take care of this. You gotta take care of this mind. You ever talking about the mindset? Yes, everything's a mindset. You got to take care of it though, right? So you need to connect with encouraging people that's not going to encourage you in a negative way. See, now people can take that and say, well, okay, Barbara, you said to connect with encouraging people. Well, that encourages me to say gossip. No, we not. No. See, that's why I have to always break it down a little bit more. We want to the positive relationships help lift your spirit and strengthen emotional well-being. It strengthens you because now you're in a different atmosphere. Okay. Number 4, make time for self-care. Ooh, I think I said a bad word. I think I said a bad word. And the reason why I think I said a bad word, because I used to be the opposite of that. Has anybody been there where you just start making sure everybody else is okay and everybody else is going right and everything's kind of locked to where it's supposed to be, and then oops, all of a sudden you forget about one thing: yourself. Yes. Now I know I am not the only one that's been there, but I'm the one that could admit that. Can you? And if you don't want to admit it here, because this is not no session with a psychiatrist, because I'm not a psychiatrist doctor, but at least admit it to yourself, okay? And saying, okay, I need to make more time with me. I need to put some self-care in my calendar. I need to put a calendar date and time and appointment for me. And that's what I started doing. That creates boundaries, right? So sharing what I'm saying, every small moment of rest, reflection, or creativity can restore your energy. So make time for self-care. And sometimes self-care, some people think that self-care is like you got to lay down and you got to get a bubble bath and you got to get some rest to go to sleep. Sometimes self-care is, you know what? I am taking on a new self-care could be, I am taking on a new class that's going to help me with confidence. That's self-care. I'm going to do a webinar that's dealing with using your voice in a positive way. That could be self-care. See, some people look at that and say, well, you're working, you're still doing something, you're still over there, doing a show or you're creating a webinar or whatever. But you know what? That's something that I like to do. And it's something positive that's attached to me that I want to attach to others. That could be self-care. So don't put self-care in these little boxes and then everybody else that they like to do their self-care, you want to sit there and talk about them. No, don't do that. Don't do that. If they're happy and content and they feel like that's a self-care for them, let them be happy and content. It's all about going back to what I talked about before, and that's that joy. So they choose to do that. Okay. Number 5, encourage someone else. Now that we talked a little bit about encouraging us, being grateful, being around other people that are encouraging and stuff. Now we want to take that a little bit more, a little to the next level, and encourage somebody else. Sharing is caring. Caring kind words or support often brings joy right back to you. Anytime I could encourage somebody and they tell me, you know what, Barbara, thank you for saying that. You just put a smile on my face, or thank you for saying that. I was feeling a little way, but after we talked, I feel a little bit more energy now. I feel like I can just go and get up and boom, 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 what I need to do. That brings joy back to you. And if it doesn't, something's wrong. Something's definitely wrong. If you're not getting joy over somebody else having joy, then we need to go back to you and see what's going on with you. But if I can bring somebody some joy, just even if it's 2-minute joy, just 2 minutes of joy or whatever in their life, I want to do that. We should be able to, we need to encourage each other. I always talk about the women are queens. And I always say queens lift up queens. I've been saying it a lot lately. It's just been in me because I always call the women queens anyway. I've been doing that for years now. But the thing is now I'm talking about, okay, we're not only queens, but let's lift each other up, queens. And I want to say this too, and I'm going to start saying this more on my other lives. Because I always resonate and I talk to and I work with a lot of women, okay? But I love the men. I do. I really, truly love the men. And some of the men, my men friends, have been telling me, Barbara, what about us? Are we a little royalty here? Can we get a little love? And I'm like, really? Come on. But see, first I was, we were joking back and forth, and I was like, come on now, come on, let the women have their light here. Let me light up the women right now with the women. And then I thought about it. I said, you know what? I am going to start saying that. I mean, it might not be all the time because, sometimes my audience is all women and stuff. So I had to keep it, but I am going to start saying we got the queens and we have the kings. So I want to make sure that we're giving love to both parties. I don't want to hear that. Sooner they give me the love, you talk about the queens all the okay, king. And now what I want you to do, this is what I told him. Now I want you to go find a queen and tell her how much of a queen she is, okay? And if she don't call you king, I don't have nothing to do with that. I did my job. I did my job. So this goes all the way back to encouraging someone else, because kind words not only support them with the light that you're giving them through you, but it comes back. It comes back. It always comes back, right? So that is number 5. Number 6, focus on what you can control. This is just, when I was putting this down, excuse me, I had to clear my eyes on this one. When I was putting this particular down, focus on what you can control. This brings me back to what I told, if you heard me at the beginning of Success Saturdays, I did, have a loss this last 2 weeks. This one hit home. And we're talking about the joy. I'm talking about joy and picking joy in your life. And that's giving you some examples of how you do that. Well, for number 6, I have focus on what you can control. If you can't control it, you don't worry about it. You can't. You just, if you have no control at all, I mean, I'm talking about no control at all, why are we spazzing out? Why are we tripping out? Why are we just, woo? And I had to talk to myself just these last 2 weeks regarding that. Let go of what you cannot control and focus on actions that move you forward. Focus on the things that you can control. I can control having joy. I can control having forgiveness. I can control loving on people. I can control that. I can't control somebody else not doing it. And that's what I had to learn again and again and again. And it came up again this last 2 weeks. That I had to say to myself, you know what? I have no control over this. Why am I? I mean, when it gets to the point where I'm getting headaches and I'm not getting sleep, and I'm just like over and over again rehearsing the same conversations and communications with individuals, and I have no control over it. What are we doing here? I've been saying that a lot too. When I see things going whatever, I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? What are we all doing here? What do you mean what we're doing here, Barbara? I said, what are we doing? Because this is not making any kind of sense, right? We don't have no control over this. None at all. So let's stop the madness. So I say that to you. And it takes away the frustration, the being upset, and it starts to bring in the energy of joy in your life. So let go of what you cannot control and focus on actions that move you forward. We need to move forward. Move forward, okay? Number 6, laugh more often. I found that laughter reduces stress and it reminds us to enjoy the moment. We all have to learn right now, especially in this day and age, we need to learn how to enjoy the moment in life. Because guess what? And we all know this, and we say it to people, and people say it to us all the time. We only have this one life, and then after that, that's it. Some people leave in the afterlife, some people leave in this certain thing. But right now, in this day and time, in this minute, in this moment, in this second, we need to enjoy and laugh more. We need to enjoy and reduce that stress. We got to reduce it, okay? Number 8, reflect on your purpose. Your purpose. Remind your purpose brings meaning and joy to everyday life. What you do, what's in you, what's ingrained in you, in your soul, in your mind, in your spirit person, it should reflect something that's coming from inside to the out for you, what you do. You're an original. You need to say that more. I'm an original. My purpose is original and it has purpose. My purpose has purpose, right? My purpose has purpose. So always make sure when you do that, that just brings joy in your mind. It should. Now, if you don't know what your purpose is and you don't know what you really should be doing, you don't feel like you're important and all that, then it's going to start to get a little rocky. So that's why you have to remember, this is where when you get to reflecting your purpose, you want to probably go around people that's encouraging, because they can encourage you and they can remind you. Because I know I do that for people, and I want to make sure I'm always doing that. Remind them how important they are, how their purpose is. So we can get that ingrained in you and you believe it yourself. Okay. Number 9, create meaningful moments. Spend time with loved ones or engage in activities that bring fulfillment. Sometimes you got to create your own moments. Sometimes you have to create your own moments. Sometimes you can't rely on other people, because they might not create what you want created. They might create something else that they thought that was a good moment, and you're like, no, it's not. That's what happened to me in the last 2 weeks. So some of this stuff is hitting home, and I can bring it to you, but in a positive manner, because I want you to flip it. So with that, create those meaningful moments. One of my meaningful moments just this last 2 weeks is I took a ride back to where my childhood was, where I grew up at, on the north side of Chicago, Illinois. Oh my God, I went back there. I couldn't even recognize it. They changed it up so much, but in a nice way. It was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I mean, and some things were tore down. Some things are no longer there when I was there. And I mean, think about it. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I was growing up. I'm going to be 58 tomorrow. Big years passed. So yeah, things changed. They got rid of some things, but they built so much. And I just sat there and I took in, and I created my own moment with that. And I took in, past when I was growing up, riding my bike around there, playing with my friends, going across the street where I lived at, where they had a center where you can play basketball, just talk activities for children, not just only children, but for adults too. It was like a community thing. I remember playing hopscotch in front of it. I remember running down the street. We would do relay races up and down the street. I remember around the corner, they had this pizza parlor. They call it a pizza parlor. And it was a really small, quaint Italian pizza restaurant. Oh, they had the best pizza, the best. Ooh, it was so gooey and hot and mwah. And I remember they used to give us slices and say, you only have one slice, because they used to give us slices as soon as it came out the oven. They used to cut the slice, give it to us as kids. I was creating some meaningful moments for me, something to look back on and just to say, wow, I had a good life, and I still do. I'm just older now, right? And I always want to tell others that are younger right now, live your life to the best. Be safe with it. Be positive with it. Hopefully, you have God in that. That should be the beginning, but just make sure that you're taking each moment and, you're loving on yourself. You're spending time with you, or you're spending some time with some loved ones, and bring, the activities, whatever you do, bring it to fulfillment so you can have that joy. That's a part of having that joy, right? So that's number 9. Last, choose a hopeful perspective. And what I mean by that is joy grows when it's intentionally focused on possibilities rather than limitations. So choose your growth. Your joy can grow when you choose and hopeful. Be hopeful of the perspective that you're thinking about. Don't have limitation. Well, I want to do this, but, or, I was really thinking one day maybe I can go on a trip here, but I don't, and we do that a lot. I know I do it. I got to put it on myself because I can't blame nobody else for, you might not be doing what I do sometimes. But a lot of us do. So stay joyful and hopeful in your life. Put those things out, and don't put the limitations there. Don't throw the limitations so quick out there. Just Just think of the biggest thing that you can think of that will make you so happy in your heart and hold it in. You never know what can come from that. Never not be a dreamer anymore. I know when you were children, we used to dream and think about stuff. I know when I was a kid, I used to dream about everything. I wanted to be, I told myself I was going to be on Fame and I was going to be one of the main dancers with Debbie Allen. That was my dream. Now, did it happen? Yes, it happened in my living room when I was watching Fame and they would start dancing and I would get up and dance with them. So it happened. Now, people didn't see me. I wasn't on the show. I didn't even know Debbie Allen and she didn't know me. But in my mind, in my house, at that age, when I was watching, I felt like I was in Fame. I'm going back to that, creating that memorable moment. I made that moment and I was hopeful and I created in a way where it still fulfilled me. And we can all do that. Now, some things can come real. I mean, I could have met Debbie Allen. Maybe I could have, got my dancing things going and everything. That could have happened, could have, would have, should have. But I created a moment in my life where I feel comfortable enough to say, you know what, it came to tuition for me. Okay. So with that said, I want everybody, I didn't see no success. Nobody didn't show me no love. I didn't really see too much in the comments, but I just want to let you know, continue to celebrate those victories. Continue to celebrate your success. Success is what it looks for you. Continue to do that. And I will be back. Let's see, I got to look at the dates here. On March 28th, same time, same station. And just to let everybody know to always, just like I said just earlier, always continue. Don't limit yourself. Always keep dreaming. Always keep dreaming. So we're going to end at that. And I'm trying to think of something that really I want to shine for you before I go off. There's so many wonderful videos that Tamara, and just to let you know, giving Tamara L. Hunter a lot of love. She has produced some sensational songs and videos with them. I mean, all the videos and stuff that most of our play, all of them never played, is she created it. So let's give her some love. And you know what? If you're thinking about, I'm going to put a little plug out there. She might get mad at me, but I'm going to put it out there. If you want a video, or if you want a song of your own or a theme song or something, just a song for you, she can do it. She can do it for you. So with that, I'm going to put the art of celebration. And we will see you at the next Success Saturdays. And remember, always remember that you are loved and that you give love to others. Bye.
From Grandma's smile to Grandpa's song, stories we've carried all along.
Every laugh, every tear, a treasure we keep, a lifetime of memories rooted deep.
We lift our hearts, we dance, we sing. Through every trial, joy takes wing. From grandparents' love to dreams brand new, the art of celebration shines. Our strength, we still belong.
Even broken roads can lead us home. Together we rise, never alone.
We lift our hearts, we dance, we sing. Through every trial, joy takes wing. From grandparents' love to dreams brand new, the art of celebration shine. Every challenge paints brighter days. Hand in hand, we'll make it through. Every moment's a gift made for me and you. We lift our hearts, we dance, we sing. Through every trial, joy takes a wing. From stories past to futures true, the art of celebration shines.